My name is Serena Lucrezi. I am a marine ecologist working for the research unit Tourism Research in Economic Environments and Society, or TREES, which is based at the Northwest University in Potchefstroom, South Africa. I also work for a project founded by the European Union called Green Bubbles Rise. It is a research project on sustainable scuba diving. Today, I'm going to give you a lecture providing an overview of the topics that need to be taken into account when working towards the ecological sustainability of the scuba diving business. I think we can all agree that the protection of surface and underwater environments is a responsibility that all scuba divers and scuba diving operators and businesses share to achieve sustainability goals. The information provided here will assist you in guiding proper management of the scuba diving business according to environmental and ecological standards. I hope you enjoyed this lecture. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me. I am going to provide you with details of my email address at the end of the lecture. So, the lecture will cover 4 main topics. The first is ecological awareness, including a discussion of what is at risk today, why, and implications. The second is protection, including the general responsibilities on behalf of diving businesses towards environmental sustainability. The third is staff, including ways to enhance their awareness, training, and monitoring opportunities aimed at improving the overall sustainability of the diving operations. And last, clients, including their education and the responsibilities of diving businesses towards promoting sustainable diving practices. So, what is ecological awareness, and why is it so important? In simple terms, ecological awareness can be defined as a genuine understanding of and concern towards the importance of preserving and sensibly use the environment and natural resources. The reason that ecological awareness is important is that it can shape the behavior of people and influence it in a positive way. Therefore, the more ecologically aware people are, the better they might behave towards the environment. In the case of diving, there are a number of studies which show a direct relationship between ecological awareness and proper underwater behavior among divers. Examples are included in the prescribed reading material. In order to raise awareness, for example among the clients of a diving business, one must first pinpoint the relevant issues affecting the environment today, contextualize them, and identify what implications they have. So, what is currently at risk, and by what influences? It can be generally said that all ecosystems are under threat. Perhaps the first thing that comes to mind is the environment in which one tends to dive the most, for example a dam or quarry, or environments which are well known to the public and more popular, such as coral reefs. However, it is known that ecosystems which divers come to contact with include a variety from marine to freshwater ecosystems. Marine ecosystems are found in the ocean and the seas and comprise tropical coral reefs, seamouths, coralligenous habitats, intertidal rocky shores, and even artificial reefs such as wrecks. Freshwater and brackish water ecosystems comprise inland quarries and dams, lakes, caves, rivers, and estuaries, among others. Ecosystems include both the physical environment and the life it sustains. Both of these are under threat from a variety of impacts. The physical environment comprises air, water, and sediment. It can be modified and damaged through impacts that include: number 1, climate change and the consequent rise in temperatures of air and water. Number 2, ocean acidification, increasing the levels of carbon dioxide and reducing the pH and the saturation of calcium carbonate in the water. Number 3, eutrophication, adding nutrients such as nitrogen to the water, with repercussions such as anoxia, uncontrolled algal growth, poisoning of the water, and reducing visibility in the water. Number 4, pollution, from wastewater discharge to carbon emissions and littering, poisoning the air, sediment, and water, and affecting also the aesthetic quality of the environment. Number 5, hard and soft engineering interventions, such as the construction of roads, groins, and nourishment, leading to effects from the removal of habitat to alterations in sediment and water movement. Number 6, extraction of resources such as sediment, also called sediment mining, which can change the topography of a place and remove habitat. And number 7, divers, who can disturb the sediment through trampling, pollute the water through sunscreen oil slicks, and the air with carbon emissions from both engines, cars, and even flying to a destination. Life comprises all living things sustained by the various aquatic environments, so plants, animals, bacteria, and so forth. Popular examples of the life sustained in aquatic ecosystems include coral reefs, seagrass meadows, kelp forests, large mammals, turtles, crustaceans, mollusks, hydroids, jellyfish, sponges, and fish. All of these can be affected negatively by the same impacts listed earlier, plus extraction types like fishing and harvesting, and other impacts like anchoring, boat engines, touching, kicking, standing, grabbing, stirring up the sediment causing deposition, and so forth. All of these actions, direct or indirect, can result in injury, disease, behavioral changes, migrations, changes in ecosystem richness and diversity, death, or even extinction of species. So, the impacts that have been described pose ecosystems under threat. But what are the implications of this? The most obvious implication is that impacts can affect the structure and functioning of ecosystems. These changes can lead to the degradation or loss of ecosystems. But what does this mean for people, divers, and diving businesses? Well, this would have detrimental implications for them as well, because the degradation or loss of ecosystems can lead to: number 1, health hazards, for example from pollution in the air and water. Number 2, physical hazards, for example from unstable substrates. Number 3, aesthetic impacts, by making a place less appealing. Number 4, measures like the closure of dive sites due to safety and health reasons, or to allow ecosystem recovery. Number 5. The loss of ecosystem services altogether, including food, recreation, tourism, and protection, among others. And number 6, the inability to guarantee use of these ecosystems by future generations. These are all things that can affect diving activities negatively, with socio-economic repercussions like the loss of business, tourism, and jobs. So, what can be done about the issues just described? In the next few slides, the potential protection actions by diving businesses will be outlined, together with the top-down measures that businesses can take to raise awareness and promote sustainability in diving activities and operations. Initiatives to promote diving business responsibility towards ecological sustainability and awareness are numerous and come from different sources, including local governments, governmental agencies, marine protected areas, certifying agencies, tourism organizations, research entities, small enterprises, NGOs, and also private citizens. Here, a few examples of the initiatives created for the purpose of supporting environmentally sustainable and eco-friendly practices in diving businesses are provided. Some of these initiatives are based on education and monitoring programs, while others are labels or certifications which are awarded to diving businesses successfully adhering to a set of criteria. These initiatives will not be described in detail here. However, a synthesis of the basic actions underpinning most of these initiatives will be provided. Basic actions to enhance business responsibility include the following. Number 1. Proper training and education, starting from diving skills and particularly buoyancy. Some experimental work has shown that learning skills in buoyancy imparts a sense of independence from the substrate, thus reducing the risk of contacts. In addition, training must be done according to legally recognized standards of certifying agencies. Finally, the diving business should commit towards receiving environmental education and adopting or creating codes of conduct and best practice. Number 2, reducing the carbon footprint. This can be achieved based on the possibilities available. Examples include 4-stroke engines instead of 2-stroke engines, switching to methane, diesel, electric, or solar for fuel and power. Number 3, active promotion of environmental awareness top-down, that is, from staff all the way down to clients. This will be discussed later in detail. Number 4, reducing pollution and litter, by recycling if possible, providing an adequate number of litter bins, reducing or avoiding the use of heavy chemicals for cleaning and maintenance, regularly inspecting the operating boats for oil or fuel leaks, and properly disposing of waste, such as toxic waste and engine oil. Number 5, actively protecting dive sites, for example, by not using anchors, engaging in initiatives of litter removal and dive site monitoring, and of course, by properly managing dive groups, from their size to their conduct. Number 6, not selling endangered species, including corals, mollusks, or other. Number 7, collaborating with local businesses for the promotion of sustainable initiatives. Examples include collaborations with restaurants which offer sustainably fished fish. And number 8, collaborating with local authorities, governance bodies, and other bodies for the best achievement possible of sustainability goals. Diving businesses ought to know well the rules and regulations governing the areas in which they operate. In addition, they should collaborate with park and marine protected areas authorities, where present, towards achieving conservation goals, for example by reporting illegal activities. Collaborations can extend to NGOs and institutions, some of which freely offer support, guidelines, and monitoring of the success of implementing eco-friendly initiatives. Others, such as public schools, offer opportunities to educate the future generations and stimulate their interest in diving and related environmental matters. In the following section, the top-down measures that businesses can take to raise awareness and promote sustainability in diving activities and operations will be discussed. Staff constitute a critical interface between the client, the environment, and the diving business. Therefore, they are a strong link and their role is fundamental. So, businesses need to properly form their staff so that these can be aware of environmental responsibility and be capable of imparting this awareness to the clients. How do diving businesses ensure that their staff is prepared according to eco-friendly standards so that impacts on the diving environment can be minimized? Critical steps would be as follows. Number 1. To properly train the hired staff in diving skills, including buoyancy, or make sure that already trained staff is coming from a background of proper training through a recognized agency. The qualifications of staff need to be recognized, and staff should not engage in duties that they are not competent in or qualified for. Number 2. Environmental education of staff. This can be achieved in different ways, depending on the resources available to the diving business or other. Staff can attend courses on marine or freshwater ecology and conservation, receive updates if they already have basic knowledge, and receive free learning material from the dive centers, NGOs, institutions, or other. Number 3. Active promotion of environmental awareness. This includes ensuring that the staff, especially seasonal staff and outsiders, are well aware of the rules, regulations, and penalties in the area where diving takes place and in the working environment, from the dive shop to boarding stations, marinas, and harbors. It also includes ensuring that the staff adopt and enforce whatever code of conduct is being applied at the dive business and dive sites. Number 4. Training on appropriate interfacing, especially with clients. This includes ensuring that the staff know well how to deliver a comprehensive pre-dive briefing and how to interact with clients on the surface and underwater through guiding, intervention to prevent impacts, and first aid. Number 5. Intervention. This may be necessary in cases where the misconduct of staff, for example dive guides, is reported by clients or by the authorities. This would imply disciplinary action, corrective action, and in the worst cases, dismissal. Number 6. Motivation and empowering. Illegally employing staff or not paying employed staff can be demeaning and have negative repercussions on clients and on the environment. Keeping staff motivated and empowered is critical to a successful diving business. This can be achieved by treating the staff according to the labor laws and investing in them through continuous education, training, updates, rewards, and active participation in conservation. For example, litter removal campaigns or reef monitoring campaigns, and education, for example, school campaigns. Number 7. Role models. The person responsible for the dive business needs to be a role model to the staff, so that this in turn can be a role model for the clients. Staff should embrace the same philosophy of the business. Examples include concerted decisions not to spearfish or recycle at home. The best practices adopted by dive businesses and staff can impact positively on the clients. There are some key steps to follow in order to create long-lasting environmental awareness among diving clients. Following these steps not only will have a positive effect on the environment, but also on the sustainability of the diving business, not only environmental, but also social and economic. For example, eco-labels can represent a form of branding which creates a positive image of the diving business, and therefore it can be a successful marketing tool. So, what are the various responsibilities of diving businesses and staff towards creating or increasing awareness of ecological issues among clients? Number 1. Displaying clearly all the rules that apply to the diving practice and also the philosophy that the business is embracing. This means transparency in displaying the rules and regulations governing dive sites and diving practices, for example in marine protected areas. Displaying codes of conduct and eco-certification protocols if any are being followed. Examples include the Green Fin Protocol in Southeast Asia. Number 2. Education and briefing. This starts with the formation of divers, if the diving business is also a school, and the right teaching of buoyancy patronage and other critical skills that are relevant for the environment and for diver safety. It continues with environmental education through verbal communication of rules, codes of conduct, and key ecological aspects, also in relation with the dive sites. All this information is normally contained in pre-dive briefings, which represent the critical preparatory phase before the dive, and therefore should not be rushed, but also should not be overly articulated. Number 3. Intervention. This is necessary to eventually correct divers during improper behavior both in and out of the water. Immediate corrective measures on divers underwater can be effective in causing long-term changes in divers' ways. Number 4. Eco-friendly marketing. This can be achieved, for example, by promoting local diving over long-distance journeys, by promoting smaller and more personal diver group sizes, thus minimizing pressures on dive sites at a given time, and by also promoting other eco-friendly industries in the area, such as sustainably fished fish restaurants. Number 5. Involvement. This can range from active involvement in initiatives like monitoring to fundraising initiatives, membership, for example in eco-friendly groups or recognized NGOs, citizen science, and knowledge exchange, for example in environmental topics, Number 6. Dive businesses and staff need to be a role model in order to stimulate change in the clients. The actions of the business leader and the staff are a strong influential tool on clients' behavior. And number 7, feedback. Asking clients for feedback can be constructive for businesses and staff. Data collected from clients, for example through brief surveys, can provide details on staff behavior, satisfaction, complaints, and requests that can lead to the improvement of the business. So, in conclusion, diving businesses can do a lot to improve their ecological awareness, and can also do a lot to improve the awareness of their staff and clients. The primary benefit of embracing eco-friendly philosophies is one that the diving industry cannot live without, and it is the guarantee that ecosystem services provided for diving can continue to exist and be delivered. Without healthy and functioning ecosystems, dive centers and dive sites cannot attract tourism and cannot sustain the livelihoods of people who depend on the diving industry for survival. Some relevant reading material and useful links to visit are provided in the notes for this lecture. Thank you for listening. Please visit our Facebook and Twitter page, our website, and if you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to email me at duratta@gmail.com.